to contemporaneously listen and, if necessary, to participate in this meeting through dialing the following phone number: 603-766-5646. Again, it's 603-766-5646. And you use the participant code 785645, followed by the pound sign. That's 785645, followed by the pound sign. We provided public notice of the necessary information for accessing the meeting. The town previously gave notice to the public of how to access the meeting using the available telephone number with the posted agenda. We provided a mechanism for the public to alert the public body during the meeting if there are problems with access. If anyone has a problem with telephone access, please call area code 603-384-3624. Again, that number is 603-384-3624. And adjourning the meeting if the public is unable to access the meeting. In the event the public is unable to access the meeting, we will adjourn the meeting and have it rescheduled at that time. All votes taken during this meeting will be done by roll call vote. When each member states their presence, they will also state whether there is anyone in the room with them during this meeting, and that's required under the right to know law. So that is about the technical aspects of this meeting, being combination of remote and in person. Currently, a little bit about the ZBA meeting. We're an elected board of 5 members and up to 5 appointed alternates. Currently, the board has 5 elected members, and we don't have any alternates, so if anybody is interested in serving on the ZBA, we would be very interested in hearing from you. You could contact Nancy Larson at Town Hall for more information. The board has a posted agenda for each meeting and tends to follow the items in order. The board will open the public hearing on an application to receive testimony from the applicants, abutters, and affected parties, and to ask questions about the appeal. The public hearing will then be closed, and the board will enter into a deliberative session to discuss the merits of the appeal. And those who do want to make comment will be able to do so by dialing the phone numbers that I provided earlier. For each application, the board will decide to approve with conditions, deny, or continue to a later meeting. I'd say you are welcome to watch the meeting tonight. We're still on Channel 22, or you can contact Nancy Larson at Town Hall to get the results. For any motion made, there must be an affirmative vote of at least 3 members. An applicant can request a continuance if there's not a full 5-member board to act on an application. And if you are aggrieved by a decision made by the ZBA tonight, you have the right to appeal to the Superior Court. However, before appealing to the Superior Court, you must request a rehearing with this board to preserve your right to appeal. Rehearing requests must be filed within 30 days of the decision, and it should state all reasons why the decision was unlawful or unreasonable. Failure to request a rehearing may forfeit your ability to appeal to Superior Court. So we have that. So then, next on our list of things to do, first we will stand, if you would join with me and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And we are going to do a roll call vote to see who is here. We have 2 members here at Town Hall, and we also have our zoning court enforcement officer, and we have our other members are calling in remotely. So if we could start, and remember to also state, if you're calling in remotely, state whether or not you are alone in the room during this meeting.
Madam Chair, if I may, we currently have Alan Yaton on the phone, and 2 of our other members, Sam Parker, hung up, and she's going to be calling right back.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for an indication that she has called back, and yep, she is on the line now, and Len was on the line. I can reach out to him. in a moment
Okay.
and make sure that he's okay and we'll be dialing in.
Okay, so we will go forward with a roll call vote. I am Gail LeBrecq. I'm the chairman of the Zoning Board of Adjustment, and I am here at the town hall in the meeting room.
Denise Langley, and I'm in the meeting room.
And Nancy?
Nancy Larson, Zoning Code Enforcement Officer. I'm in the meeting room.
And those calling in remotely, we have Len Stewart. Are you there?
Len is not here.
Okay. And Alan Yeaton?
Let me, I was having troubles with my computer. IT was on the issue all afternoon, so I'm gonna just check a couple of settings here, if you bear with me.
Okay.
You can sing songs or,
No, you don't want me to do that. I promise you that.
okay, hold on. It's likely user error, so just bear with me a moment.
Now, everything you're doing was by computer and not using that remote call-in thing?
I'm doing that as well,
Oh, okay.
so.
I'll stay out of it because I know nothing.
Same for me.
Okay, so hold on, folks.
Yep, sorry for the delay, everyone.
We are working on some technical issues.
This was one of the issues I was having with my computer this afternoon. It worked great all the times that I was working remotely, and I did a dry run, unplugged my computer so I would, there we go, okay.
Are we set?
Let me just check the volume.
And you don't have anybody muted, right?
I hope not. I clicked the buttons twice, honestly, it looks the same whether I click the mute or
Okay.
so let me just, audio. Okay, everything should be fine. I'm gonna call audio is,
Has Len dialed back in yet?
he has not, so, I know Sam hung up because she wasn't sure if the meeting had started, so I told her just to stream it. I'm gonna step out of the room and try, reaching Len. Alan, can you hear me? Sam, can you hear me? Sam?
Their phone's on mute. Now or on the computer, if they're on the computer. Was it
I
that?
called in, I would mute my
Yeah,
own.
this is all
You
strictly,
called in on the
this is
phone. Yeah, and everybody else was doing that as well. I'm just checking my microphone to make sure it's working. That's working fine.
And they can't call in on the regular conference call.
oh, she's using that thing. She's using.
I'm not using the conference.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Could we use that? I don't know, because I know
It'd
it's
be
been
different.
used
You
for
wouldn't
other
have
meetings.
control, but people would call that, I don't know. How many calls you could put in?
I have never used this before, so let's just keep our fingers crossed.
Problem's gonna be for abutters who call.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We're not gonna be able to get them in unless we call them.
And how are we gonna know to call them? Should we call Derek?
Yes.
let's see, we have,
Okay, I've got Len on the phone too. Oh, Len just hung up. I'm gonna,
okay. You want me to call Derek?
actually, could you call Len?
Yep.
Are we? Yes.
The board is going to recess while we tend to these technical difficulties. Okay.
How much longer do you think they're gonna be doing meetings like this?
Welcome back, everyone. We had a few technical difficulties that are hopefully taken care of now. So we are going to resume our meeting, and we are going to we'll start with the roll call again. My name is Gail Lebrecht. I'm the chairman of the Zoning Board of Adjustment, and with me here is,
Denise Langley, member?
And,
Nancy Larson, Zoning Code Enforcement Officer.
and calling in remotely, we have Len Stewart. Are you with us, Len?
Can you hear?
I can't hear.
Hold on, Len. Okay, I'm gonna do something here. My computer was acting strangely. There was a problem when we did a dry run with IT this afternoon. I ended up plugging in with a headset because when IT called me using the program, I could hear him, but he could hardly hear me. So I'm hoping that everyone can hear me on the other line, because at this point I can hear you, but because I have the speakers dialed into the headset, no one can hear. So hold on just one moment. All right, hold on just a minute. All right, I'm going to turn my volume way up.
Oh, I heard Alan.
Okay. Okay, you want to go through the roll call, Madam Chair?
Yeah, well, we've already done here, so we can start with those that are on calling in remotely.
Calling in.
Len Stewart, are you with us?
Len? Len, can you hear me?
Alan, are you with us? Or Sandra?
Alan here.
Alan, are you the only one in the room? Alan, are you the only one in the room? Okay, thank you.
There's a little bit of a delay.
Sandra, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a big delay.
I'm here, I'm the only one in the room, but I'm hearing you very badly.
Okay, thank you, Sandra. I'll try to speak up and see if that helps. And Len, are you with us?
I am with you. I am the only one in the room, and likewise, the sound from your end is very weak.
Okay. Nancy's going to see if she can take care of that. Usually the sound comes out of that box.
Thank you for calling First Light's Conference Direct Service. We're glad you're here. Please enter your participant or moderator code followed by the pound key. Sorry, conference has already started.
I think you needed to sign in there, not on your computer. I've always seen Derek sign in on that thing.
Nancy or Gail?
Yes.
Nancy, can you hear me? It's Joanne.
Yes, I can hear you, Joanne. I think what
Everything is unintelligible on my end. It'll give us a quorum. I can be in town hall within about 10 minutes.
Well, I think what, as Gail pointed out, instead of entering the conference call through my computer, I should have done it on the phone. So consequently, all the sound is coming through my computer, and I'm not able to transfer that to the phone.
Nancy?
So, yes, Joanne.
Nancy?
Yes, Joanne.
If you put the microphone 6 inches from the phone.
Okay, hold on. Oh, yep. Hold on a minute. All right, Joanne, you want to speak, or Len?
No.
Yeah, I think what I will need to do, we tried moving the speaker closer to the headset. Let me try it again, hold on a sec.
Closer to the headset. Let me try it again. Hold on a sec.
Len, do you want to speak and see if we can?
Len, do you want to speak and see if we can?
Well, I can hear reasonably well now, but I was getting garble and dropouts before.
Maybe we have a solution.
Close it out and call in through here.
Recess for a few minutes and have them call in.
Okay, sorry, folks, we're going to recess again for about 10 minutes to get this reestablished, and we will be back.
10 minutes?
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the zoning board meeting of May 5th. They say the third time's a charm. I think we've got the electronics working properly now, so we are going to resume our meeting. For those of you who may have been disconnected from calling in, you can call in now at 603-766-5646. and use the participant code 785-645, followed by the pound sign. Again, that number is 603-766-5646, with the participant code 785-645, followed by the pound sign. And I think we're going to just kind of start from there, pretty much, and we're going to do a roll call again to make sure everybody is here. My name is Gail LeBrecq. I'm the chairman of the zoning board, and with me here we have
Denise Langley, member.
Nancy Larson, zoning code enforcement officer.
And on the phone, we have Len. Are you with us?
Len Stewart, Vice Chairman.
Thank you, Len. And Alan?
Alan Yaton, member.
And are
No
you?
one's in the room with me.
Oh, thank you, Alan. And Len, is there anybody with you?
No, there's not.
Thank you. And Sandra, are you with us?
I am, and no one is in the room with me.
And would you say your name again, please, for everybody who's listening?
It's Sandra Parker, member.
Thank you. Okay, so we have done that. Our next order of business is approval of the minutes to the meeting of April 7th. Does anybody have any corrections or a motion to approve?
I will move to approve, Gail.
I second.
Thank you. And we're going to do a roll call vote. And I vote yes. Denise?
Yes.
Len?
Yes.
Alan?
Yes.
Sandra?
Yes.
Okay, so the minutes, the approval of the minutes passes 5-0. All in favor? Thank you very much. Okay, our first applicant is Andy Rickenbach? Randy Rickenbach, applicant owner, seeking a variance to cut trees that are located within the inner 50 feet of the 100-foot wetland surface water conservation district buffer. This concerns section 13.3.5 of the Goffstown zoning ordinance. The property is located at 55 Shirley Park Road, map 31, lot 16. It is zoned residential 1 and is located within the wetland surface water conservation district overlay. So I will entertain a motion regarding regional impact, please.
I motion there's no regional impact.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Alan second.
Thank you, Alan. And roll call vote. I say yes. Denise?
Yes.
Len?
Yes.
Alan?
Yes.
Sandra?
Yes.
Thank you. We have vote all in favor that the application has no regional impact. And Mr. Rickenbach, if you would come to this table here and tell us about your application and what you're looking to do, please.
So I recently purchased the house a couple months ago, and I marked off trees that I would like to take down. Most of them are kind of not in the greatest condition, small trees anywhere from a couple inch in diameter, and there's a couple of bigger pines that are maybe a foot in diameter that I'd like to take down. Most of them are, like I said, in bad condition. Just kind of want to clean it up. It doesn't look like anybody's paid much attention to that house in the last 10 or 15 years at least. So a lot of those are just little saplings that kind of just took over and are kind of just overgrowing the area.
Okay. Are you going to be getting into the water to do any of the work? Or how close to the water will you be?
So I've talked to one guy, Bovair, who's a Bedford tree guy. Goffstown tree guy. And he's going to do everything from up top. So he's going to bring in I don't know if he's going to do a crane or a small excavator to take the tree. Someone will cut the tree down below, and then he'll use the excavator to pull the tree up on top where it's safe to cut it up and take it away.
So the work's not gonna be done in close proximity to the water, just pulling out the trees?
Yeah, just someone will have to be down the bank, cutting the ones that are flagged, and then he's gonna be pulling them up, the embankment.
Okay. Is there anything else you wanna tell us about what's gonna be done?
And then also, as with the state guidelines, they allow you to trim from a third of the way up.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of pines that are 2+ feet in diameter. So none of those big ones are going anywhere. But I am gonna clean up the branches. There's some that are like almost touching the ground and stuff. So I'm gonna clean those up and clean up any other dead branches that are, overhanging the lot and stuff like that.
Okay. Do you have any questions of him, Denise?
Not at this moment.
Okay. Does the board have any questions of the applicant? Len?
Not at this time.
Alan?
I'm fine.
Sandra?
Not at this time.
Okay. I'm aware that you went to the Conservation Commission. I saw that meeting. I actually wrote the minutes to that meeting. And so they have 6 conditions. Are you aware of what they are?
Yeah, I got the email.
And you're okay with them?
Yeah, that's
You're
everything
gonna
that I was
follow,
gonna do anyways.
okay, follow and comply with the NHDES 25-point system. You knew all about that going into the Conservation Commission. I mean,
Yeah,
I got that part. You're only gonna cut the trees that are marked. You're gonna have no removal of the roots of the trees that are designated to be cut.
no.
No proper, no, wait a minute, I take that back. Proper measures should be taken during the cutting of the trees, as so the trees do not fall within the waterway. That was a big concern of
Yeah,
theirs.
so that's all gonna be professionally done. So
Okay.
won't be cutting
Okay,
anything.
but you're still
myself.
ultimately responsible.
Yes.
I know they told you that.
Yes.
Okay. Any heavy equipment used during the tree cutting should not disturb the slopes of the water embankment along the property, and should also be conducted on top of the property away from the water embankment area, as so there are no disturbances or erosion issues. Because it's a slope, right? You've got a slope down to the water from the
Yeah,
property.
there's some in the slope, there's some that are down on the water, there's some up on top of the actual.
Down on the water?
Very little, like the little
Like
trees.
little ones that are like in the embankment,
Okay,
basically.
okay,
They're not in the water.
okay. And the last one was that you would be required to notify the Conservation Commission when the tree cutting work is complete.
Yep.
Okay. And I do remember that they actually commended you because you're aware of these rules and you're following them. And a lot of people just go ahead and cut anyway. So I just wanted to make sure that you know that the boards are aware that
I
you're
appreciate
trying to
that.
follow the rules. Okay, so if you're okay with those, Denise?
I have a question. Does he have to meet with the Piscataqua River Committee?
The state, I believe someone, and maybe Randy, did you contact the state? Normally, the shoreline program, I had given you the contact information
I
and.
did call one guy and asked about permitting and stuff like that. He said there's no need for permits, as long as you follow the state guidelines.
Okay.
So normally they would be involved in, a lot of times they would be involved in the process if a state permit was pulled, but I don't recall if I gave you the information of the
Piscataqua
Piscataqua River. I can email you that information tomorrow.
Okay.
And they would just provide some guidance, and so I can send that information to you, and I can contact them directly too, and just see what they say. And they normally just meet once a month, but they may have a meeting coming up, or it might be a situation where they can just do something very informal, but I'll first reach out to them tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. Does the board have any other questions of the applicant?
One for me, Gail.
Huh?
Just
Go ahead.
in terms of trying to visualize where this will be, the cutting is spread out across the width of the property, or is it going to be pretty much straight off the back. If I'm looking, say, from the deck at the back, is it going to be concentrated in the middle or spread across the lakefront width?
It's spread out evenly, kind of from the right side all the way to the left. So the right side not so much. The left, the kind of middle to the left more.
Is that
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Okay. Alan or Sandra, do you have questions?
I have just one question. There appears to be a portion as you're facing the river, on the right-hand side, that looks like it belongs to somebody else. Is it part of his property, or is it part of somebody else's?
That's
On the
part.
site plan.
Yeah, that's part of somebody else's. There's a strip of land that's actually attached to the lot next door. But this property at 55 Shirley Park Road does have, it does have lake frontage, just not as much as it appears if you were, standing out there in the backyard.
Okay. All right. So there'll be no cutting on that property.
No.
Nope, not at all. Not there.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Alan.
I'm all set.
Sandra?
He's answered everything for me. Thank you.
Okay. The only thing left as a formality is your answers to the questions regarding the variance and why you think the variance should be approved. And I see you don't have that with you. Would you
I'll
like?
get my copy.
Well, you can either read from her copy or I can read it into the record.
Yeah, I don't have it.
Okay. I'll read it into the record, but just know that you can also add to it if you'd like. Okay,
Okay.
so just interject after each one if there's something you want to add to whatever's said here. Okay, so there's the 5 variance criteria. The first one is that it would not be contrary to the public interest because the trees that are being taken down will not affect any neighbors. The trees being removed will help enhance the view of the lake for everyone to enjoy. The spirit of the ordinance is observed because it will only affect his property. Granting the variance would do substantial justice because the view of the lake and overall enjoyment is being blocked by the trees. And property values will not be diminished because he's removing trees to view the lake, and everyone will benefit by them being able to see the lake. And regarding hardship, he said only the view is being affected in a good way. This will not affect the neighbors in a negative way. And it's a reasonable use because most of the trees and smaller brush is overgrown and should have been taken care of years ago, but due to neglect, it's a bigger issue now. And then if criteria A is not established, criteria B says that an unnecessary hardship will be deemed to exist if and only if, owing to special conditions of the property that distinguish it from other properties in the area, the property cannot be reasonably used in strict conformance with the ordinance, and a variance is therefore necessary to enable a reasonable use of it. And he said the health of the trees are in poor condition at this time. Is that poor? Does it say
Probably.
poor or fair?
It's poor.
Okay, poor condition at this time. So is there anything you want to add to those?
Just I had a hard time answering those questions.
They are hard.
They all sound like they're asking the same thing, kind of. So
No, they
I
are.
kinda just-
And unless you did this on a regular basis, you probably don't really know how to answer the questions.
Even then, they're
they
tough.
give you the paper. They give you tell you how to fill out each one too, and even that was not easy to
not easy.
comprehend.
Yeah.
What they were looking for. So
Okay. Do you have anything else that you want to add, whether it's about these or your application?
no.
Does the board have any further questions of the applicant?
I have a comment?
Go ahead.
Okay. So typically, I would say, let's see here. It'll only affect my property. I kind of question, because that's the whole reason that we have setbacks. However, since you're doing it the correct way and you went to the state, you're following the guidelines,
Yeah.
and you went to conservation, then that's, the amount that it's affecting the water is so minimal, it's no different than anybody else's property that's not on
Yeah.
the lake. So in that case, I have no issue with that.
Okay, good. Okay, does anybody else have questions or comments about the application? Glenn?
Oh,
Alan?
No?
Sandra?
No?
Then I'm going to close the public hearing, and, I'm going to open the public hearing. Do we have anybody on the line that wants to comment on this application, Nancy?
Yes, we have on the line a caller with the last four digits of 6701. Can you hear me? And if so, can you identify yourself?
Hello?
We'll try this again. I have on the phone caller with the last digits of 467, or 6701, I apologize. My vision is blurring. If you're there, can you identify yourself for the record?
Yes, this is Tom DeFulvio calling.
Tom, okay, thank you very much. Tom, just hang on, you are the applicant for the next agenda item. And Madam Chair, that is the only call-in number that we have showing up at the moment.
Okay. All right, then we're going to close, with no callers, then we are going to close the public hearing, and the board is going to enter deliberations. Do we have any comments or a motion?
I'll make a motion, Gail, that the variance be approved as requested,
With the-
subject to the 6 conditions as outlined by the Conservation Commission.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank
Maybe
you.
with a comment that
And,
it should, that item 6 should be done within 30 days of completion.
the what?
Item 6,
Within 6 days?
30.
30.
I mean, yeah, number 6, within 30 days. Okay, we can do that. Well, I'm okay with that. Are you okay with that, Len?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So we have the motion to approve with the 6 conditions, and number 6 being done, with the applicant being required to notify the Conservation Commission when the tree cutting work is complete, and you'll do that within 30 days. So we have that motion, we have a second. We're going to do a roll call vote. I say yes. Denise?
Yes.
Len?
Yes.
Alan?
Yes?
And Sandra?
Yes.
So our vote is all in favor, 500. You have your variance.
Did you vote, Madam Chair?
I did. I voted first.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. And thank you for hanging in there with us with our technical difficulties.
Yes. Sorry for the extra
So,
time.
am I waiting to hear from Piscataqua stuff, or can I?
I'll
Tree
I'll reach
company.
out, yeah, call the tree company. I'll reach out to them in the morning,
Okay.
okay?
All right.
They like to be notified, but.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, our next applicant is, hold on, my papers are flying. Tom DeFulvio, applicant, Shelley Rand owner, seek a variance to construct a 10-foot by 14-foot deck expansion onto an existing deck approximately 22 feet from the rear property line, whereas 30 feet is the minimum required. This concerns Section 4.3, Table of Dimensional Regulations of the Goffstown zoning ordinance. The property is located at 54 Church Street, map 37, lot 29-1, and it is zoned Residential Business Office 1. And I will entertain a motion regarding regional impact, please.
My motion there's no regional impact.
Denise made the motion. Do we have a second?
Seconded by
I'll
Alan?
second.
Thank you, Alan. Okay, and we're going to do a roll call vote. I say yes. Denise?
Yes.
Len?
Yes.
Alan?
Yes?
Sandra?
Yes.
Okay, so all in favor, motion carries. We have no regional impact to this application. And we have Mr. DeFulvio. Are you there?
Tom, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You're sounding very, sounds like you have a frog in your throat.
I'll get you on speaker. I'm going to take you off. Hold on
Okay,
a sec.
terrific.
All right, how about now? Does that sound
No,
better?
just as bad. Are you calling from a landline or a cell phone?
I'm calling from a cell phone.
Okay, do you have a landline option, or maybe you can move to a different spot in your room?
No, I guess, the only thing I have is a cell phone.
I wonder if you could try calling back.
Yeah, do you want to try calling back and see if your strength is stronger in a different part of your house or wherever you're calling from? I know it varies widely in my house. It's pretty much overall
Okay, let me call
bad.
right back.
Okay, all right, thank you.
That's the same issue we had with the planning board when everybody ended up having to hang up and call back and reestablish the connection.
Okay, yeah. Hopefully.
Last week, there was one abutter that had a hard time hearing us. Everybody else had no problem.
Yeah.
So I think it's, you don't have good single strength with your cell phones,
Yeah.
maybe?
Hang on there, folks. We're just waiting for Tom to try to call us back, and hopefully the connection is better. Okay, I have you on the phone. Tom, you want to speak for everyone and see if the connection is a little stronger?
Yeah, is that any better?
No.
Let me move to a different spot. Hold on one second.
Okay.
And now at the front of the house.
Yeah, no, it sounds just as terrible. Sounds like your voice is on a roller coaster.
Let me try calling back one more time, but I'm gonna have, I'm gonna use Shelley's phone instead of mine.
Okay,
It's better.
all right,
Give me
thank
one
you.
sec.
Okay,
Yes, bye-bye.
bye-bye. I don't know if you were able to pick that up. Tom's going to, he has a second option. He's gonna have the homeowner call on her cell, and hopefully we'll have a better connection. Hi, Shelley, can you hear me? This is Nancy Larson.
Hi, Nancy. This is Shelley. Can you hear me?
Yes, that you sound the same as Tom did when he called. Yeah.
I'm going to suggest, I had seen it in an email, and I'm trying to find the email, because this is the same thing that happened with the planning board, that we take another few minutes and disconnect everything and everyone, and then people call back to reestablish the connection. That's what they did with the planning board, and that was what was suggested in the email that I can't find.
Okay, so we're gonna try that, Shelley and zoning board members, so we'll getting really good at disconnecting everything and restarting it, so.
Give me
Yeah,
a
but,
minute.
yeah, give me a few minutes, and I have your phone number here. Let me just make sure it's the one on the application. Yes, it is. So how about when we have it up and running again, I will just give you a call and then make it easier, okay?
Sure.
All right. Thanks, Shelley. Okay.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Okay, so we are going to take another break to reestablish our connection, our telephone connection. So please bear with us. We should be back in 5 minutes or between 5 and
Hopefully.
10 minutes.
All right. Now the drop mechanism. I
No
think
worries.
moving forward will be much easier.
Well, we're back again, and the applicant, Tom DeFulvio, has decided to join us here for this meeting to remedy the connection problems that we had with him. So we are going to resume our discussion of the application of Tom DeFulvio applicant, Shelley Rand owner, seeking a variance to construct a 10-foot by 14-foot deck expansion onto an existing deck approximately 22 feet from the rear property line, where 30 feet is the minimum required. This concerns Section 4.3 Table of Dimensional Regulations of the Goffstown zoning ordinance. The property is located at 54 Church Street, map 37, lot 29-1, and it's zoned residential business office 1. And we did previously have a motion to find that the application has no regional impact. So, Mr. DeFulvio, what can you tell us about your application?
Well, right now I have a 4x8 deck, which is basically enough just to get out of the slider. I wanted to put an addition on there so we could use it for the grill, the griddle, table and chairs, stuff like that, and just enjoy it in the summertime. It's gonna be in the back of the yard. There's a large space distance between all of the houses on each side and from behind. The only one that will basically visually see it is the butter directly behind, but she's actually higher than we are in the land. Ours is lower, so she'll hardly even see the thing. Apparently the house was built originally, I think they moved it where the original plans had it, the foundation going in one spot. I think they pushed it backwards a little bit, which might have been the reason why the builder built such a small deck, because he would have probably had to do the same thing as come in and ask for a variance, decided he probably didn't want to do it. So here I am.
Here you are. So how far is it to the property line? It is 22 feet to the rear property line.
Yeah, if I'm allowed to put this deck in, at the one point it'll be 22 feet away.
Okay. And you've notified all your butters, obviously.
Yes, it was certified.
Certified letters went out.
Yeah, and I heard from a few of the neighbors, I got your letter.
Okay. Denise, do you have any questions of the applicant?
Not at this moment.
Len, do you have questions of the applicant?
I don't.
Alan?
No, I'm all set.
Sandra?
Sam, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. I just couldn't get it off mute. Yes, I heard. And
Do you have any comments or questions?
no, I do not.
Okay. Wow. Okay, then the next thing, formality for the record, is to address the variance criteria that are in the package. I see you've got your paperwork with you. You want to review that for us?
Sure.
Okay.
So I gotta go through the 4 or 5
Yeah,
items?
the five criteria.
Okay, number 1, contrary to public interest, the deck expansion will be in the back of the yard. It won't be seen from the street, so it doesn't have any real effect. The deck expansion would be a good distance from all the butters' homes and not infringe on any of their privacy. Granting it would allow us to have a large enough deck to enjoy it and use it in the summer months. The current deck is way too small to do anything other than stand on it. The deck expansion, I would say, would add value to my home and might as well help if my house goes up in value, or possibly others would as well. In
Hardship.
5, the way I understood this, the expansion, the deck, it's gonna be similar to pretty much everything, other decks that have been done. I'm gonna match the front deck that's there, the porch, I should say, that's there now, so it's gonna look aesthetically the same. And like I said, there's plenty of room between people's homes and the actual deck expansion itself.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what to say about B, because I think I answered A.
Okay. Now, in A, it says owing to the special conditions of the property that distinguish it from other properties in your area. What can you tell me about the special conditions of your property?
Well, there's really, it's the new home that was built down on Church Street. It's not special, it's just a house. I'm not quite sure what you're
Well,
getting at.
what is different about your lot that's from the others? Is your lot, I don't know.
Smaller.
Is it your lot smaller than everybody else's? Is everybody else's smaller than yours?
I think they're similar.
What other things?
Weird shape, I mean, it's all, but that wouldn't apply.
No, I think I'm just looking at the subdivision plan, they appear to be basically similar in size. My neighbor on my right has a smaller property, but the property behind me is similar, I think, in size, and all what my other abutters are.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions? Denise?
Not at this point.
Len?
Not at this time.
Alan?
No?
Sam?
Not at this time.
Okay. With no questions, I guess my concerns are two. I have two concerns as far as the criteria go. And one is the spirit of the zoning ordinance, because this lot was created, it obtained a special exception or variance to create this lot.
It was a
And-
variance.
And then now
2017.
another variance to expand the construction on the lot. And I don't think the spirit of the ordinance is really designed to continuously grant exceptions and variances and different things like that for an application. And then the other thing is, your own words said that there's nothing unique about your property, no special conditions compared to the neighbors, and therefore you have no hardship as described within the criteria, the requirements for the variance. So I'm finding that you don't meet those two criteria, or that's my thoughts. I'd like to know what the other board members think. Denise?
Sure. That was my original thought when I saw the variance, especially where we just granted a variance in, I think, 2017. I think maybe we need to be a little bit more careful when we do that. And anticipate larger decks, because it makes sense to have a deck that you can use. So I started looking, and if you look around him, everybody is within that setback. They're pushing it. So he's not standing alone by pushing this. So if we put aside that we've already given this piece of property a variance, then I would look at this and say, well, the one up above, that building is almost touching the property line. The one to his left is within the setback. It's a deck. If I were to make a motion, I'd motion that it would never be enclosed. But that was the way I went around looking at it after I looked at the whole package.
Okay. Len, comments?
I think that Denise said a lot of the things that I observed too. It's a reasonable, seems to me to be a reasonable use given the nature and the tightness of the rest of that area. Again, absent the fact of the variance 2017.
Okay.
I don't have big problems with it.
Alan?
I'm not particularly concerned in looking at the rest of the neighborhood. Several of the homes are much closer to property lines than this one would be, even with a deck extension.
Okay. And Sam?
I, like Denise, had a small issue with a variance and then another variance, but in regards to this deck and where their format is in relationship with every other house, I have to agree that, I feel that there's no reason, not to go forward.
Okay. Okay, do you have any other comments that you want to make?
Just one, I'm just, no roof, no nothing, just a,
Just a deck,
just a
yep, no.
deck. Let the sun come in, enjoy it. Railings, and it'll look nice.
And exactly, we just don't want it in the future, that's all,
Yeah.
but that's just me that
Yeah,
says that.
no intent.
No, okay, thank you.
Okay, so if we have no other comments, I'm going to open the hearing to the public. Do we have anybody on the line that wants to comment?
We do not, Madam Chair.
Okay, having nobody on the line to comment, then I'm going to close the public hearing, and the board is going to enter deliberations. Do we have comments, discussion, or a motion?
I have a comment.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I don't have a problem approving the variance, and I don't know if we could put a stipulation that it would not become enclosed so that it gets sold down the line and we're back again. I don't know if we have that authority. We do?
I think it's a reasonable
Okay.
condition.
I would like that put into a motion if we made one.
Okay, okay. Are you making one?
If nobody else has
Just do.
comments.
Len, do you have comments?
No, I think I would go if Denise wants to make that a motion. I would gladly second it.
Alan, do you have comments?
Well, I do. And the thing is, would this gentleman be here this evening if he did a patio that was on the ground?
No, he would not. Patio is
So-
not considered a structure by the zoning ordinance definition.
That's what I thought. So I see no hardship here at all. And I would not be in favor of granting the variance.
Okay, Sam?
I have no problem with this. I would grant the variance.
Okay. Well, are we gonna, somebody want to make a motion?
I'm just looking to see how high this is.
How high it is?
Yep. Looks like it's one step off, yeah, I don't have a problem. I'll make a motion,
One step off of,
the house. So you're not, you'd have to step off of that to go to ground level. What they say, so we're all on the same page here.
the existing deck. One step off of the house? Well, there's already stairs.
Right, and then down the stairs, but I'm saying if you were to put a patio versus a deck. Okay, I'll make a motion.
Go ahead.
I motion to grant the variance to construct a 10-foot by 14-foot deck expansion onto the existing deck. Stairs are to remain in the location, not to protrude out further into the setback. And also, this variance is going to restrict this structure from ever being have a
Enclosed?
roof, enclosed, 3-season or 4-season room.
Okay.
Screens.
Screens, no roof, no,
No enclosure of any kind.
Just railings.
Those are required. Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
It's Sam, I'll second.
Len beat you, Sam.
Too late.
Okay, so we have the motion to approve with the conditions that the deck is never enclosed, is never enclosed by any means, no screens, no anything, and the stairs are not to protrude into the setback any further. And we have the second from Len, and we are going to take a roll call vote. And let's see, I'm going to vote no. Denise?
yes.
Denise votes yes. Len?
Yes.
Alan?
No?
And Sam?
Yes.
Yes. So we have a vote of 3 to 2 to 0, and your variance is granted. Thank you. And thank you for coming down.
My pleasure.
Yes, thank you. You're a
We really
lifesaver.
appreciate that.
We were watching you on TV.
You have a sad life.
Okay, and the last bits of information that we have before we close up our meeting, the only correspondence we have is an email resignation from John Wilt, resigning as an alternate. And sadly, he chose not to to sign up again for his alternate position. So do we have a motion to accept with regrets?
I motion to accept with regrets and thank him for the service he did do with us.
Okay. And do we have a second?
I'll second. This is Sam.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you,
Definitely
Sam.
regret.
And roll call vote. I'll say yes. And Denise?
Yes.
Len?
Yes.
Alan?
Yes.
Sandra?
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor? We accept the resignation with regrets. John, if you're listening, we will miss you. You were a good participant on the board, and wish you well. Okay, and the only other thing we have, do we have anything else, Nancy?
No, ma'am.
Okay, motion to adjourn?
Second.
Who said first?
You did.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
motion first. I
Okay.
motion to.
That was not followed by a question mark.
I know, it wasn't.
Okay, Denise made a motion to adjourn. Somebody want a second?
Second.
Len seconded. Roll call vote. I say yes.
Yes.
Denise says yes. Len?
Yes.
Alan?
Yes.
And Sam? Sam?
Sam, you
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Okay. Motion, meeting is adjourned at 8:22 PM. Thank you, everybody. Have a
Thank you
good
for
night.
your patience, everyone.